That's nice.
It's me, it's that K-I-N-G, and it's my fucking birthday and I'm in work, so appreciate it, you horrible bunch of smarks. But aye, it's that time of the week again, so let's take a look at all the WTF Moments from WWE Raw. And we start off this week's episode of them WTF Moments with a bit of fucking rapid fire, lad. The opening segment started with superstars rather than management. WTF. There was a bastard car in the crowd. WTF. And then we had that moment where one of my baes, Sasha Banks herself, said that this is where her WWE main roster career began. Becan? What the fuck does that mean? That moment where one of my baes, Sasha Banks herself, said that Charlotte was a result of a Ric Flair one-night stand. Oh! Aye. Is it? Aye, made me go. But let me just at this point and at the last moment for you there, do not get mistaken. Ric Flair has not slept with anywhere the same amount of women as my brother from another mother. My fellow highness himself, Mr. Prince. I mean, that man has slayed more women than me, you, Chris, and Ric Flair combined. Prince, I mean, shagged a lot of women. Was it just me that thought it was a bit strange that Enzo Amore came out on his own when Big Cass was in the back all along? He came out from the back anyway, didn't he? So why was he not just out there all along? Because I am f***ing terrified that they're testing the waters already to break the two of them up. If they make that team go, oh, fuck me, nah. Don't even want to think about it, lads. Fuck that. Bring back the draft, they said. It'll end this 50-50 booking, they said. Bullshit. Charlotte wins one week, Sasha wins the next. Charlotte wins this week. I bet Sasha wins next week when they have some sort of shitty tag match. New Era, same old shit. Did you see that moment when referee John Cohen went to hand former WWE Women's Champion Charlotte the WWE Women's Championship belt? I mean, bloody hell, John Cohen done f***ed up there, didn't he? We all know Sasha's the champion. She should have been the one being handed the title belt. But no, John made a... Well, yeah, I suppose it's an easy mistake to make, isn't it? I mean, Charlotte's like 6 foot with long blonde hair and built like a brick house, and obviously Chris off camera there, she's gone like that, which means she has massive tatty bojangles compared to Sasha Banks, who's shorter, got long pink hair, and has no tatty bojangles, or very petite tatty bojangles. I'm a tatty bojangle connoisseur, but the point I'm making is John Cohen was going to give the belt to the wrong person. WTF! Did you see the Bella twins winning some sort of female athlete of the year at some teenage slumber party, house party, shittery? I mean, they're not even the best athletes in the WWE Women's Division. You've got Charlotte and Sasha and Bayley and Eva fucking Marie. Point is, they shouldn't have won that award because there's better out there. By gum, sleeping with John Cena gets you some places, doesn't it? I should probably look into that, yeah. Jobbers get $1,000 per match and $5,000 if they win. I mean, this gig, lads, I'm off. I'll see you later. I'm about to go and learn how to do some bumps so I can become a jobber, because not even a king's wages that bloody much. See you later, Chris. Bye-bye. Right, I've booked me flights. I'll be on the plane next week to jobber school to learn how to bump like a pro. But anyway, the next WTF moment surrounds Braun Strowman's nostrils. I mean, have you seen them? One's that big, the other one's that big, which tells me one thing, and one thing that might get me into a lot of trouble. It's that Braun Strowman likes the toot. He's got a toot nostril. Of course, Braun Strowman doesn't like the toot. He's never taken a drug in his life. I'll just make that clear, because he'll probably kick the shit out of us if he ever saw us. Bring it on, Braun, eh? Already fighting the primate from WCPW, aren't I? I'll f***ing take you down as well, Bonnie lad. And we're back on another f***ing rapid fire ting, lads. The Shining Stars won a match live on WWE Raw. WTF! And then we had Michael Cole making the same pissing mistake he made last week by calling your boy Finn Balor's Pele kick an overhead kick. Now, if this happens next week, it won't be making the WTF moments because it will be clearly shown to be a decision that Vince McMahon has made backstage. Vince probably doesn't know who Pele is, even though he's probably one of the greatest footballers ever to live. Scored more than 1,000 goals and all that, won a World Cup here and there. But Vince McMahon doesn't like that because none of that happened in WWE, did it, Vince? Did you hear those chants of Roman, Roman, Roman? Because I did, but when I looked out into the crowd in the back of shot, not a single mouth was moving, not one at all. Now, I'm not accusing Kevin Dunn of altering the crowd's reaction, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm accusing Kevin Dunn of altering the crowd's reaction. You know, because he gets off on that sort of thing. Does Kevin, he's a bit of a sick bastard. You, Primate, Braun Strowman, all in a row, I'll fucking shaft you with this, bad lad. So it appears that WWE are turning Titus O'Neil heel. Try and say that 5 times fast if you can. I mean, WTF, Titus is one of those superstars who's known more for his good work outside the ring than he is for the good work inside of it. You know, because he's a great dad who loves to tash on with his son on the lips in front of the world. But he's a great dad, though. Never forget that. What's not to love about him? And I turn him heel. Just makes no sense to me. What's Xavier Woods doing in the women's division? WTF? What, man? How where? They've both got the same haircut as Rufio from Hook. You expect me not to make that joke? Fucking hell. You don't know who I am? And we've got another bit of Michael Cole in this week's WTF Moments from WWE Raw, because it was that moment when Cole asked which member of the New Day would be banned from ringside after the tag team champions had drawn the fruit out of the sack, and it was clear that Xavier Woods had drawn the long banana in this case, while Big E and Kofi had the little tangerines. Stupid question to ask, wasn't it, Michael? You should be watching your monitor. You would have had the answer instead of wasting your breath and hurting our ears. Here is an impression of JBL. Look at that, Maggle. It's a cock and balls, Maggle. It's a cock and balls, Maggle. It's a cock and balls. I love cock and balls, Maggle. I love the cock and balls, Maggle. I love cock and balls. I miss John on Monday nights, you know. Jinder Mahal turned up. Whoa. Tomspiracy, ladies and gentlemen. This is where backstage interviewer himself, Tom Phillips, is forced to make himself smaller by standing with his legs wide apart. And on this week's WWE Raw, we had the biggest example ever. And the cameramen actually shot it. You could see his legs were wide apart, and they included that in the show. If there's anything you want to hide on a WWE event, it's the fact that a very tall man is having to stand like an absolute tool to make smaller men look taller than they actually are, you know, just to make themselves look more manly and tough and shit like that. But it was ridiculous, and actually filmed it. Fucking idiots, eh? Kevin Dunn should have been changing the shot and everything on that one. Kevin! There was a fan in the crowd with a sign for Suplex City, but the fact of the matter is that he couldn't spell the name of his own hometown. The Atlanta native apparently thinks he lives in Atlanta. F***ing idiot. Did you see that horny bastard exposing himself? I'm not gonna f***ing do it, ladies, before you ask. I'm a shy bear in me. But did you see that horny bastard in the back of shop behind Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar continuously exposing himself? Because I did, and I didn't f***ing like it. It was disgusting. Horrible. Something I should never ever have to see on a WWE show. And finally, we end with a point that I never thought I'd ever have to say again, and it was the fact that there was no WhatCulture signs on WWE Raw this week. Not on television anyway. So this means I've got one thing to say to you, Atlanta. F*** you! Well, that's it for all the WTF moments from WWE Raw. I've been King Ross on my bastard birthday. Appreciate it. If you don't, go fuck yourself. You've been my little subjects, and I suppose I'll see you tomorrow for a bit of WWE SmackDown. Bye.
Remember when WhatCulture did a magazine called Wrestling? We're doing another one called Wrestling. Issue 2 will feature a career retrospective on Brock Lesnar and an interview with Paul Heyman. It'll feature another How WWE Should Have book written by this sexual modern stallion. There'll be all the usual top quality articles and artwork, as well as a top 50 list of the greatest SummerSlam moments of all time. Like last time, you can pre-order and buy your own copy in the link below at shop.whatculture.com. Order now to enjoy issue 2 of Wrestling.